Leaves a film, then what happens is that film acts as a retardant and it doesn't allow the tan to sit in. So a lot of times you'll see, you'll get your tan, you'll get it done, it never seems to dry or set. And it's because the exfoliant left some kind of a film. And I see a lot of times when girls sometimes use hair product and they'll wash their hair, but they forget and they let their hair hang down. And then that can put like an oily film from the product you're using. And then you look in the front, everything looks really good. And the back, it's not sticking. And it's not drying. And then you get that multi-look where it just, everything looks muddy. And it's because the skin hasn't been prepped properly. And so what ends up happening is that, again, that the tanning solution doesn't adhere to the skin. Deodorant is another thing you have to be very careful of, because deodorant will react to the tan and it will create, especially if you use a spray, because I haven't seen a spray yet that sprays just like this one little area, it goes like that. So then what ends up happening is you get spray everywhere. Then all those places, that's why I always tell everybody, whatever you do, don't put your armpit up to the side facing the judges, because it's like green pit time. So we want to make sure that, try not to use things that can have a negative reaction with your tanning solution or tan. So usually I recommend, to go ahead and start exfoliating about Tuesday or Wednesday before a show. And do it for a couple of days so that the actual morning you're done, you're ready to go. So when you start your tan, you don't get what we call rough patches. So your elbows, your knees, the back. How many times have you guys gotten tans and then the next day you go to rinse it off and your hands are like black and your knees are black and your elbows are black and everything else is perfect? So now you look like, oh geez, I'm an alien. And it's because the tanning solution, what it does is it will stick and attach and hold to where rough skin is. So if you have some skin that's smooth and some skin that's dry, the tan will stick. And you get this like cheetah print. So it doesn't look like it all has a nice even flow. So just make sure when you do your exfoliation, don't scrub to where you're literally almost pulling the skin off. Because then you're going to end up creating, I remember one time thinking, I told one of my clients, hey, don't worry, if it's got a little bit of a scab, it's going to cover it up. No, it actually doesn't. It actually attaches and it gets darker. And so if you have like a little cut or you have a little rough patch of skin or where you rubbed too hard and it got too abrasive and it took a layer off, then that area, I promise you, will get darker than the other areas. And where's one of the most famous areas that happens to a lot? Bottom of the glutes. How many times have you looked at your pictures from the backside and went, what the hell are those dark circles? And that's rough patches that sit right under the bottom. Why? Because we sit on rough chairs or we sit, with either when you're training in your shorts. And we always try to be really protective of where you're sitting, how you're sitting, and make sure you're in a cool area so that your body heat doesn't come up and it doesn't take that off. And exfoliating after, if you're going from shows to shows and you're doing multiple shows, you have got to recreate that whole process again because your skin has already been through it one time. Now you really have to exfoliate it all good again, get your skin back to that healthy place where all the dead skin's off, all the old coloring is off, because if you try to put color on top of color, then it gets muddy. And I know a lot of times you guys feel like you want to be super dark on stage. It's not always about being super dark. It's about having the right color that shows the right look. So sometimes if you try to go too heavy on your coloring, what ends up happening? It just gets muddier and muddier. And so you're trying to put, but then the coats don't dry. And then when the coats don't dry, now it peels right off of it. And then when you get on stage, now the judges can't really see because your tan is blocking the detail from coming through. How are you all?
of us go way back, but I've been the Figure Pro since 2003. First lineup, way back. I've also been doing hair and makeup in this industry for 20 years, almost every weekend. I think I was probably the one who started it. Lenda brought that to my attention. I was probably the one that started it. So anyway, I've been doing this a long time. I love my job. I love my before and afters and making you all beautiful. I know there's a lot of amateur people here. I know there's a lot of pros. And I know there's a lot of people who have never competed before. So what I'm telling you today is going to apply to all of you, okay? And the pros I hope listen to, because I do have a few tips. And honestly, okay, coming from some very important people, judges, other prominent people in the industry, and I won't mention any names, I've been given a lot of information to give to you just on their behalf as well as mine, because I see everything coming in, going out, and I know there are some specific things that need to be covered, and especially for the newbies, you want to know the do's and the don'ts. So, first of all, stage presence, as you know, is everything. Stage presence is not just the way you walk, it's not just your conditioning and how you show up that day. I've been told from actually very prominent judges that they would prefer you spend more money and time on your hair and makeup than you even do on your suit. Because realistically, your body, you should be there. It should be exactly the way it needs to be that day. Second of all, actually this is a really important one. Stage lights, as you know, wash out a lot of your color. Your body color, your face color, everything gets washed out on stage because the stage lights are very bright. So what you do not want to do is apply, and I don't know, how many of you have applied your own makeup for your shows? Okay, you obviously have artistic ability, or you think you do, right? And how many of you have always get a makeup artist at your shows? Okay, so you are obviously several shades darker that day, most of you, on stage. So the last thing you're going to do is bring your regular, go to the grocery store foundation for your stage, okay? That's not going to work. Please hear me now. That's the most important thing that I can tell you is please have your face match your body. And like I said, it doesn't mean using that one color all over your face. You're going to use probably 2 shades lighter under your eyes and in the T-zone to make sure you have that light contour, that lighter T-zone blending out to the darker to the perimeter. This is a very important point because otherwise in your pictures, and I'm sure you've noticed, and those of you who do this, you know who I'm talking about, because you probably looked at your pictures and thought, oh, it doesn't really look like that head belongs to that body. This is really important. And if you're not excellent at your own makeup and have that artistic ability, please hire somebody because it will make a difference. And hire somebody, we've got many great teams out there